but lull does not mean zero. It just means there was slightly less. And Sumit, just now, I'm trying to examine the larger issue here, because there are a lot of people who are not exactly going to know what's going on, and there's no way of immediately finding out. So if you are in these frontline places, what is the reasonable advice to give? Do you just carry on life as normal, or do you hunker down? What do you do?
I think if you look at these border areas, what we have done, Rishabh, they were bunkers of 1971. They were not used since then. We have reinforced them. Now, these are a concept called Modi bunkers. I think 21,000 or more than that bunkers have been built in. They have been already filled with food stock and water and necessary supplies. When the sirens and all go up, a lot of people are advised to move there, keep them there. Even in Uri and other bordering areas, we have arranged buses and trucks to make sure we are able to move civilians to safer places. Because what unfortunately Pakistan is doing, Pakistan is targeting civilians. They are targeting our schools. They are targeting the civilian population. They have even targeted a Gurdwara in Poonch sector. So that is how Pakistan is going to behave like this, rather than targeting Indian military and the army, where they will get a befitting reply.
Stay with me. It's going to be a long night, obviously. I want to get Ajay back in. Ajay is just going to update us, and for people watching the broadcast, I'm just going to step out to make a few phone calls. I've been sitting here for 7 hours. I want to speak to a few people to get some update, to better reorient myself on the gravitas of what is going on. I'm going to come back in a few minutes. Uday is standing by to replace me for a few minutes. Then I'll come back to all of you. Ajay, meanwhile, what is happening? What can you report from the ground, which is patently obvious?
Rishabh, right now I'm standing here in Jammu city, and where this massive attempt from Pakistan took place, in which missiles and drone basically came, and it was attempting to target a vital installation, but it was spoiled because of the anti-missile, anti-drone system here. But now the fresh input says, the Rishabh, that Pakistani army violated ceasefire in the Sabziyan sector of line of control, which is touching, Shopian district near the, in Pir Panjal, and heavy shelling is going on. Once again, Pakistan is trying to target the civil population there. Indian army, no doubt, that is relating very effectively to the Pakistani firing. But since yesterday firing, in which 13 people have lost their life in the Pakistani shelling, people, those who live over there, they were shifted to the safer location. But still, there is a there is a fear among the people, because Pakistan is targeting the civilians deep inside.
Absolutely, Ajay. Of course, Pakistan clearly violating ceasefire there. Continuous shelling, of course, being reported from those particular spots along the LOC. India, though, retaliating effectively to, of course, Pakistan's firing and Pakistan's attempts to escalate the situation. Now, if we talk about Jammu, of course, the threat has of course, passed for now. Has that blackout ended, or is it in place just for caution? What is the latest situation in Jammu that you can share with us, Ajay?
Rishabh, see this, the area where,
of course, if we talk about the LOC, Pakistan not letting up there too. They are, of course, they were resorting to firing missiles and drones, all unsuccessfully, of course, across the border, as we saw earlier. Now this heavy shelling, though, continuing. That's something that they are not letting up on. What are they attempting through that, Major General Bansal, even as now India continues to evacuate those villages which are very close to the border?
I think, I feel that what they are feeling now, thinking that their capability to strike by missiles and drone in the remote area is not successful. Now, maybe, as you know, they have prepared for this intense war, what they call, because when the intense war is a kind of thing, when they are having the number, the capability is less, then they try to force immediately, and that's what they were saying, that for the intense war, they have the only ammunition for about 96 hours. So that they must be now focusing and concentrating on that area, just because, all tactics, and then they find what is the vulnerable area, and most vulnerable area is being hit. So maybe they are having strength on that side. and they are trying to advance because they could not succeed by the drones or the missiles which had been neutralized by our air defense system. So that may be the reason. Back to you, sir.
All right. So these, of course, are the big updates coming in, even as, of course, we do know that the NOTAM also now being issued to 24 airports across India. Various airports, of course, being issued this NOTAM. Meanwhile, security has also been beefed up across the country. That is why various airlines now are sending messages to their passengers to reach earlier because of heightened security protocol. We as a nation, Sumit Peer, are not, complacent at all. This is a time, of course, to preempt Pakistan. We are, of course, foiling every attempt by them to attack India, to target us. However, we cannot be complacent. That is something that cannot set in, which is why these heightened security protocol, which is why, measures like evacuating those villages close to the border, measures like shutting schools which are close to the border, measures like these blackouts which are in place as abundant caution in particularly those districts which are sensitive, are all needed currently, isn't it, Sumit?
Today we are doing a fantastic job as a country. If I'm looking at the various footages which are coming in social media through friends and contacts and sources, I mean, I don't know how much can we show on the TV or not, but the kind of images I'm seeing, my hats off. I salute the armed forces of India. I am seeing them coming like those pests and flies, and we are dismantling each and everybody of them. So far, we have done a fantastic job. Our preparation has been very apt. I mean, whenever we see a threat, we are imposing grid level blackouts. But Pakistanis cannot attack every nook and corner of India because India is a very big country. Wherever they can attack, we are taking all due precautions and care. But it is the onus of the other parts of the country and our all nationals, our all citizens to make sure their engineered designs of Pakistan through some nefarious elements, antisocial elements, and something like are not met. So that's why there's a heightened, protocol. You have to reach 3 hours early in the airport. You have to do certain amount of precautions, what we are doing, while you are doing that. It is very, very important that we are not complacent because enemy may not only attack from across the border. There might be something which can be fomented within the India, which can be started within the India. And at times you have seen it is much easier to start the trouble within. एक हिंदी में कहावत है ना उदय जी, किले का दरवाजा अंदर से खुलता है, बाहर से कभी नहीं खुलता. So we have to be careful of that aspect of it so that it doesn't become that thing. So being very alert is the thing. I might not think that I'm in Chennai to bahut dur hai, or I'm in Kozhikode is too far away. No, you don't know what is in the mind of ISI. You don't know what is in the mind of Pakistani army. When it comes to borders, Indian army and Indian forces are good enough to handle them, and they're doing a fantastic job.